Whew, it's been a while. It's been a hot minute. I probably won't get any views since I have a tendency to always disappear and always hide my lives. So that tends to mess up the algorithm for me on top of my absence on the platform, which tends to ruin everything else in the process, such as my chances to be monetized again and so on. But I also just don't show much of an interest towards YouTube. So, for the people who want to watch this as a replay, hey, this is for you. I prefer to engage with an audience, but I'm okay if I have to do it solo as well. People might not have their notifications on because I've been out of the algorithm. P.S. You might hear a lot of crunching because I'm eating. Anyways, I just wanted to do a quick live just to hear myself ramble as usual. The whole situation this past week with Charlie Kirk has been a lot to take in. I've never seen so much hatred in people's hearts. I'm hoping that the mic doesn't give me issues. I'm using my phone, so it might create issues. Right. Anyways, I've never seen so much hatred in people's hearts. Now, if you don't know, I'm not a very trendy person. I don't follow the news as commonly as people do. I avoid the news like the plague. I can't stand the news. When I watched the video of Charlie Kirk, I watched it in prime time, just as everyone else. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe what happened to this man, how he got shot. I think about it and I had to emotionally numb myself because I just couldn't cope watching that unfold. I mean, people might treat this situation as well. Everyone has their moment where they will pass away and whatnot. People might want to minimize it, but it's not just a matter of him passing away. The issue is people are minimizing it. People are finding any excuse under the sun to basically go along with this idea that he deserved it. I'm the type where I don't care if Charlie Kirk was a Democrat or a Republican. I see Charlie Kirk as a human being before focusing on his political views. But unfortunately, not everyone's the same. Some people believe he deserved it. The saddest part is these are people with an education, people who are nurses, teachers, and the whole nine yards. You would not expect me to believe I would see people with education. Hi, Island Girl. Island Girl, if you don't hear me clearly, I'm sorry. I'm using my phone. So just a heads up. If it sounds bad, I might have to delete this video. How are you, Island? Are you okay? Oh, and if you hear that crunch sound, I'm eating some Bel Grande nachos from Taco Bell. They came out with it. I couldn't resist it. And I'm eating a snack before I hit the gym. So, Island Girl, I was talking about Charlie Kirk. You probably have seen what has unfolded recently with Charlie Kirk if you don't know him. He's a political activist. He founded Turning Point USA. That whole situation just left me speechless. And I've been wanting to talk about it for quite a bit. You know, it's just sad that we're willing to discard human people based on their political beliefs. I don't care if Charlie's a Democrat. I don't care if he's a Republican. At the end of the day, that was a human being who lost his life for simply sharing his mind and speaking his opinion. I don't know how we get to the point where we go on social media and we rally around the fact that he passed away. I still can't wrap my head around the level of depravity that I'm seeing online. Yeah, Island Girl. And I'll be honest, I don't watch news very regularly. I don't keep up with the news. But when I went to YouTube the same day he passed away, that's when I saw the headline. Everyone was going live about him. So I clicked on one video and everyone was talking about how he passed away. And my jaw dropped to the floor. When I saw the video on X, my jaw dropped to the floor. Oh, yeah, the colleges did a good job. Yeah. I'm just talking about mainly certain people on social media who made a mockery of his death. And they were trying to justify it by saying, well, basically he's pro gun rights, pro Second Amendment, how apparently Charlie did not like empathy or empathizing with people. And people took everything he said out of context just to excuse the fact that they're basically saying more or less they're okay with this man losing his life. That's the excuse of the century. And whether you quoted him correctly or incorrectly, he died in a very public manner. Okay? He didn't commit S, it wasn't his fault. He didn't do this to himself. It wasn't just a plain accident that happened out of sight, out of mind. His death was publicized for everyone in the world to see. But yet, a lot of people want to minimize his death due to his politics, due to his religious beliefs, and due to his controversial takes here and there. They're forgetting Charlie was a human. He was not a criminal. He never committed any violent acts against the elderly, against children, against other people who were caught off guard. Never exploited anyone. Never did anything to warrant that type of level of hatred. But yet, for some reason, he met his tragic demise. And it's just sad seeing how people can just justify anything because at the moment they're not thinking with their head straight. They're thinking with their feelings. And their feelings are making them act very inhumane in the process. And I don't know if you've seen it, but people have been getting fired left and right, front and center and back. I can't believe how people are so deprived of anything good in their lives. They have to go to social media and post, "Oh my God, he deserved it," or karma, or whatever they post about him. I don't even know why I'm surprised. But I just think that when the bar is already low, it gets even lower. Like, I'm just thinking, do these people have a mind, a heart, a soul? Like, where's the human decency? This isn't to say you have to like him or agree with his views, but if you had someone in your family who suffered the same fate as Charlie Kirk, would you want them to hate on your family member as much as these people hated Charlie Kirk? Simply for giving his opinion, simply for touring, going to college campuses, and just speaking his mind to influence our youth into joining politics. That's it. He didn't commit a crime. He didn't do anything to these children or anyone else for that matter. He would tour college campuses and he would debate them. That was it. He was trying to help people from this era to develop a mind of their own and develop critical thinking skills. That's it. And for that, he had to pay the ultimate price. And it just leaves me in shock how people can just shrug their shoulders and act as if this is okay. Because it was more than just him being murdered. This is sort of a representation of our freedom of rights being at risk. Because if you speak your mind and you deal with the wrong crowd, you might end up getting shot in the process. If you meet someone with a political viewpoint that's different from yours, you might get shot in the process. Shot, hurt, whatever takes place first. And it just shocks me that we have reached this point where we're focusing on, okay, well, Charlie deserved it because he was conservative. And we're disregarding the damage that's been done. Because the people who appreciated that man, such as his wife, his children, will never see him again. His family will no longer see him again. His friends, his colleagues, and his supporters will never see him again. This was an assassination that was committed very senselessly. And people have been rejoicing over the fact that this man lost his life And I just at thinking to myself, can humanity get any worse than what it is right now? Because it's scary to think how people feel these days simply out of what? Political differences? The tolerance level is just not as high anymore. People are not tolerant about anything these days. They get offended and you immediately disagree with them, then you got a target in your back simply for speaking your mind. If words hurt your ego to the point where you're willing to hurt someone, then you really don't deserve to have an opinion. You don't deserve to be in the presence of that person. And you need to reevaluate your life before you commit a mistake that may cost you your liberty and justice. Because no one will root for you once everything's said and done. But people these days, they don't care about others' feelings. They care more about following what their ego tells them, even if their ego puts them in a compromising position. And so I'm just in shock that we've reached this low point. I can't believe people have celebrated this man's passing, and I've been pretty sentimental about it. And I usually don't follow news like this. Like I don't follow celebrity news or anything of that nature to a high degree because it's not interesting, it's not appealing, and there's no purpose behind it. It's just mindless fodder content that I don't even care to entertain. But when I saw the whole situation with Charlie Kirk and I saw what took place with him, it broke my heart to see that happen, especially because he has young children that will never be able to share their lives with him because of this unfortunate tragedy. But it just goes to show you that we are not doing well these days. People are just not thinking critically anymore. They think they are above the consequences. But the saddest part is to see how people, nurses, teachers, athletes, you name it, they've been getting fired left and right for posting their opinions on social media. My question is I want to know who employed these losers? Who employed these people who just simply have a bone to pick with a man they have never met? They go along with this mainstream media of Charlie Kirk, and I bet you if you ask them about the quotes that they took out of context, they won't be able to provide you evidence about how they took it out of context because they don't follow that man. They don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about him. I've seen clips of him here and there, but nothing where I followed him for years and years to the point where I know his backstory. I know bits and pieces. I can admit that. But you ask these people and they think they know it all. So that's all I wanted to share. I probably might come back and continue talking about this whole situation because it's just ridiculous. What was that? Let's see here. I noticed haters come out in his tragic death, yet I saw. Yeah. Let me tell you, Island Girl, I saw several things. For instance, they had a vigil service in Seattle about Charlie Kirk, and there was someone who held a poster saying, Charlie Kirk is dead, hell yes. Someone posted that. Sorry, someone had a poster made of that message, and they were raising it over their heads. And someone, I believe, was interviewed in Seattle as well, because they attended that vigil service, and they said more or less, if I was there, I would have done the same thing as the shooter did to Charlie Kirk. And I was like, "Oh my god, like, the level of inhumanity is out of control." Like, I would never say that about anyone. Even if I don't have a good relationship or history with them, I would never say that about anyone. And I sure as hell would think twice before just saying it without, I would think twice before saying that about anyone, let alone saying it in the first place. It just shocks me that the level of inhumanity that I'm seeing nowadays. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. And look at the backwards logic that people are using. Some people are saying that he deserved this because of hate speech, because his opinion could be classified as hate speech. So this is why apparently these people believe he deserved to die. But what is the difference? Because these people are celebrating his death. So doesn't that make it hate speech by default if we want to go there? Because you're hating the fact, I mean, you're loving the fact that someone passed away. That to me sounds hateful. That doesn't scream love and unity to me. That screams like, haha, you got what you deserve. And that is just sickening. Oh, Island Girl, those people are just out of touch with reality. I mean, based on what I saw with that video, those people are just completely indoctrinated. I mean, that Seattle is as liberal as you can get. And I don't even mean that to be offensive, but if you got to be extremely left leaning to hate Charlie Kirk to that degree, to basically celebrate the fact that he passed away. And who does that? Who does that? I mean, and it goes to show, like, if we make comparisons, and it might offend people, when Charlie Kirk passed away, did you hear any news of any conservatives or Republicans burning cities, burning police stations, looting? Did you see any of that happening? Because I haven't heard anything. But I remember when George Floyd passed away, which was a terrible situation. Everyone was looting, like, especially the left-leaning cities. They were burning it up. They were looting left and right, and they were justifying their actions. Look at the big difference here. There's a contrast here. And I don't even like to make it political, but I mean, if you show your slip, then I guess I have to call it as I see it, right? I mean, that's how I think. And I don't think there's anything wrong with what I'm saying either. But, you know, I thought I'd just share my opinion for a little bit. Um, and I'll probably post more if I feel like it. But otherwise, it was good catching up with you guys. Bye.